like Steve Winwood's dead. So without further ado, though, it's time to keep this show rolling. And I'm gonna let's welcome my guest, and then I'm gonna pick a bone with him real quick too. Let's welcome from this season's Masterchef, the one, the only, Christian Green. Christian, welcome to Totally Driven Radio.
What's going on? Chef CG's in the building. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. No complaints.
Well, I'm going to start off with a complaint because you know what? I was on your Facebook page today, and I was going through it, and for people that love food like myself and my co-host Nick, you go on there, and it is literally like a pornography of food.
Of course. I mean, this is what I do. This is what bleeds out of my body. It's the passion of food. I cook daily ever since the show. I've been cooking, 3 times out the week, 4 times out the week for local businesses around the New Orleans area and whatnot. And, everything that I basically come up with, I make sure to take a picture and post.
Nice. So you're doing a hell of a job.
Thank
and
you.
I can't wait to get into what you're doing now, but let's rewind in time and go and talk about this whole MasterChef thing that you got yourself involved in, because you were at one time and you were the talk of the town, and everybody was saying Christian's going to win it all, and I was like, wow, it seemed real. It seemed like you could win it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I never would have thought in 1,000 years that I would be on a TV show showcasing my talent and whatnot. And the thing about it is that my fiance was actually the one that basically came to me and was like, do you want to be on this TV show? I'm like, okay, are you working for the producers? But anyway, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Why not? And she basically said, okay, let's find the paperwork. Let's get you to this casting, and boom. I went to the casting. I went in and gave them the crawfish Creole lasagna that I prepared for them that day, and it was up here from that day.
Wow. Now, were you a fan of the show before you went and tried out for it?
You want me to tell the truth or you want me to lie?
No, I want you to tell the truth.
Honestly, I was not a fan of the show. I really hadn't had an opportunity to, sit down and watch the show. I never saw season 1, never saw season 2, 3, 4, and stuff like that. But no, I really wasn't a fan.
So you had no idea what you were getting yourself involved in?
I really did not know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. All I knew was, Christian, you're going here for a purpose, is to cook, showcase your talent. And then the one thing about it is that, I wasn't, when I got to the competition, my focus wasn't the trophy. My focus was not, win the money. I just wanted to be there, showcase my talent, just basically show the world, I am an individual that been through so much in life, from, deaths, from, personal stuff. I never met my father before,
wow.
and it's stuff that, that I lived with. So what more so got me away from those situations and problems was I was just getting in the kitchen and just cooking. When football didn't work out for me, I was always in somebody's restaurant working, if it was a dishwasher, if it was a prep cook and whatnot. And it just basically stayed with me, and it stayed with me for so long. And boom, God has blessed me to, be on this amazing cooking show. For me to have the opportunity to meet Gordon Ramsay, Joe Bastianich, Graham Elliott, it's truly a blessing.
Now, did you know who? I'm sure you probably knew who Gordon Ramsay was, but did you know who Graham and Joe were before the show at all?
Well, I knew who Graham Elliott was. He's a Michelin star chef. He did graduate from Le Cordon Bleu and whatnot, and he was on Iron Chef and everything. Joe Bastianich, I really didn't know much about Joe Bastianich, other than his mom is Lydia Bastianich, and she has a lot of cooking shows, and she's very well known in Italy. She has a lot of books and whatnot, and she has a cooking show on Channel 2. And basically, Joe owns his own wine, I'm guessing. Yeah, I think he owns his own wine. And that's more so really it. I mean, Gordon Ramsay, of course, everybody knows who Gordon Ramsay is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just started watching the show last year, And I had no idea who Joe or Graham were before I started watching the show last year. So
right.
I was just like, yeah, I knew who Gordon Ramsay was, but I was like, all right, who are these other two guys? Like, what's giving them the right? And then especially Joe. I mean, he's a very intimidating person.
Yeah, man, Joe. You know, he's all right. He's okay, but he's very intimidating. You know, and one of the things that they did edit out, you know, in the show, and I guess we'll get to that a little bit later, is that, you know, I got an offer from Joe as well. You know, and
really?
Yeah, he said, you know, this is when they edited. He was like, well, you know, if Ramsey's not worried about making money, I am. So we can open up a restaurant. And he was like, you know, what you think we'll call it? I said, would you call it Moist? And he was like, yes, because Joe was the one that gave me the name Moist, because every protein that I put in front of him, it was always cooked to perfection and whatnot. But, yeah, Joe is just the type of guy, like, he comes off like it's all about him. Yeah. But he's a good guy.
And you know what? Like, the way I look at it, too, with Joe is, like, the guy doesn't have to say anything, just his facial expressions. But then when you're able to get his voice to actually vocally approve you, that's like you've gone like miles and miles way further than I expected any of these to go.
Right. And then one of the things is that I was very surprised about Joe was it was edited, because what happened was me and Joe was actually, you know, he walked up to me when I was making my signature dish, which is a macadamia encrusted chicken. Mm-hmm. So I forgot one sauce that was going on to my signature dish, and this was the time I just would have wanted either Graham or Gordon Ramsay to walk up to me after the signature dish was prepared. But once the time ran out, I couldn't put anything on my plate. I couldn't put the extra sauce on my plate. So Joe comes to me and looks me in my face, and I'm like, what is he about to say? Like, is he really about to, like, cut me a new one, or is he about to be cool? So Joe was like, why is your sauce not on your plate? I said, I ran out of time, and, you know, I didn't grab a spoon. He was like, so you didn't grab a spoon? So he grabbed the pot, and he raised it up and tilted the pot, and all the sauce just fell onto my plate. And then Joe was like, he was like, yeah, your chicken is good. It's very moist. And I'm like, yeah. And then he looked me in my face and just paused for a minute, and he was like, so are you moist? And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, yeah, I'm moist. And then that's how it went from day one. But Joe, he's a good guy. He's all right. He's a good guy.
That's funny. So, all right, so when you finally made it through, at what point did you realize, like, what did I get myself into?
Well, when I first made it through, it was just more so of, you know what, Christian, you here. This is something that you've asked for years. You've asked to be well known, but just didn't know how. Football didn't work out. So my focus was, you know, once I'm here, let's just compete. Let me do what I came here for to do, and that's cook. And that's basically what I did.
Nice.
And I was not intimidated by the time either. The 60 minutes, pressure, that stuff, I wasn't intimidated by it. It was nothing. I just cooked. And I just feel like when you cook from within, yourself, your stomach, you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Christian, I sit there every week and I watch these shows, and I get intimidated, and I get stressed out watching these stress tests. Come on, you can't tell me at one time you really felt the pressure of this stress.
Hell yeah, the Croquembouche. The Croquembouche. Like, what got me through that Croquembouche was my son's name. And I kept saying C-A-I-D-E-N, Caden. And that's basically what got me through that Croquembouche, because, I mean, I have never made a Croquembouche a day in my life. You know? And, you know, when they brought to our attention that we was doing a Croquembouche, you know, I was already upset because I felt like, you know, I brought our team back to reality, even though we was going down in a restaurant, so I should be on the balcony. You know, I showed what a master chef can do, so why not put me on the balcony? And then once they said, you know, rules are rules and you got to do the croquembouche, I was very pissed. I was very upset. And I was like, I ain't never ate a croquembouche before. What is a croquembouche? All I know is that it is a French cake, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the stuff that you guys end up having to prepare, not even ones by your own choice, but where they ask you to prepare stuff, like I never either A, heard of this stuff or would have the faintest idea how to do it. So that, like, even amazes me more when you guys pull off stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Right. I mean, you know, it was a lot of reading that had to be done, and it was just the fact of the matter that you just never knew what they was throwing at you.
Right.
You just never knew what they was throwing at you. You didn't know if they was going to throw this at you. You didn't know if they was going to throw that at you. So it was just the fact of the matter is that regardless of what they throw at you, you have to be on your feet. You have to be on your toes.
Now, how about when you were doing the initial the tryout? When you finally
when I was doing the initial trial, I remember my casting number. My casting number was 917. And when I first came into the casting call, I had the crawfish lasagna in my hand, and I just basically put it on the table, gave them my information, gave them all the paperwork that I had to give to them. And the first thing that came out of one of the people's mouth was, "Oh, my God, that smells so good." So I'm like, yeah. He was like, "What did you prepare?" So I was like, "This is a crawfish Creole lasagna." He was like, "For real?" So I opened it, and once I opened the top, the steam just came out of it. So it was hot.
Right.
So as I'm sitting there and whatnot, you know, they called my name, and I went into the room. Once I went into the room, they basically had about 10 to 11 people in the room. And, you know, they tried my food, and I was like, "Oh, my God, this is amazing. This is real, real good." And I was like, "Cool, thank you." So once it got down to, they was like, "Okay, we got everything that we needed. You know, it was good meeting you guys." So I was like, okay, I guess this is basically what I came in for, just for them to taste my food, and I'll just go home. So as everybody was walking out the room, they was like, "Oh, my God, great. Year two," it was me and this young lady, and it was like, "Great. You're the only two that's here. Well, I got good news for you. You guys made it to the next round." So I was like, "Stop playing." It was like, serious, you made it to the next round. So I went from that round to the next round, went in the room. I spoke with them. They got to know me. I told them my life story. I told them everything that I've been through. And I made it from that round to the next round. And then they told me to come back for the next day to do an on-camera interview. And then, you know, one of the producers told me, was like, don't get aggravated if it's a little bit long that we get in contact with you and whatnot. I was like, okay, whatever. And then, boom, they started sending stuff out the woodwork from emails. And I was like, oh, my God, I got all this stuff to do. So it got to the point where I did get overwhelmed, to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this. This stuff is getting so out of hand. This is just too much stuff that they want. I'm just not going to do it. So basically, I continued doing it, and I got on the show.
Wow. Are you happy you did it?
I'm very happy that I did it. That's one thing that I would not do is regret, being on the show, is because, I went there for a purpose, and my purpose was to basically show the world, regardless of what you go through, even though that they edited out what I wanted the world to know, regardless of the trials and tribulations that you more so go through, you're going to overcome anything if you possibly put your mind through, to it. And, I'm an individual. I never met my dad before. I didn't live a regular life like any normal kid. I came from a single-parent household. My mom raised 5 kids on her own. So that what motivated me to get in the kitchen and start cooking and start helping her. Being in college my first couple of years, not having that guidance, mom had to take care of my brothers and my sisters. So it was more so I had to, defend for myself. And then, also, my third year in college, my best friend gets killed. And he dies in my arms. And then, me coming out of high school, I lose my brother. I lose my younger brother. My younger brother, he drowned. So I was faced with a lot of trials and tribulations. Hurricane Katrina, I was faced with so much. The only thing that I knew what to do is just get in the kitchen and just cook. You know, that's what basically made me happy, was just cooking. And, you know, working in different, you know, establishments and learning from there. You know, a lot of people ask me all the time, like, Christian, did you go to school for this? I'm like, no, I just cook, you know. Being around my mom, being around relatives, cooking with family and friends on holidays, I just cook, you know. And when I cook, I tell people sometimes when I cook, I cry because I'm in my moment. I'm in my moment of, you know, everything that I've been through, I'm just putting it all on a plate and whatnot.
You know, I wish they wouldn't have edited that stuff out. I mean, dude, you got a pretty amazing story. Like, I mean, I've been through a lot in my life, but you just, I mean, no offense, you made me kind of feel a little better about my own life right now. Like, you've really been through a lot. I mean, you're a very inspirational person. Like, if they would have told more of that story to you. I mean, I know me personally, as I was watching the show, you know, at one point you had like a very you had an attitude to you, and it was just like, wow, this dude's kind of cocky. And then when you were like, all of a sudden it was like you really started emphasizing, or they started showing, I guess, you emphasizing, I'm doing this for my kid. I'm doing this for my kid. It was like, this dude's he's on it. Like, you can see it now. He's inspired. He's really putting forth a big effort, and he's trying to do this for his son. It was really touching.
Right.
So, you know, I wish they would have told more of that, your story.
I wish it too. But one thing that I do realize and understand, sorry to cut you off, is that one thing that my fans, and I say good morning, beautiful people, every single morning when I get up on my Twitter or more so on my fan page, because when I receive messages and people are just basically telling you ain't never met these people a day in your life. You know, you ain't never crossed paths with these people in a day in life, but you receive messages from people and they telling you how inspiration I am to them, and or how, you know, I'm motivating them for them to get back in the kitchen and cook like you cook with a passion, like you cook with a lot of stuff in your shoulder. So in a way, it's very disappointing that they didn't show the reason why I cook, but for me to be on TV and not say one word and just cook, for them to recognize that says a lot to me. You know?
Absolutely.
It says a lot.
Absolutely.
You know?
Now, what did your mom think when you made it onto the show?
Oh my God. Oh my jeez. My mom, you know, even though she didn't have an opportunity to, you know, come out to the show as my fiance did, you know, my mom was very, very proud of me. Very, very, very proud of me. And I think it really, really hit her. I think the day she came down for Memorial Day this summer, and, you know, she haven't had an opportunity to be around me. She really didn't have an opportunity to more so speak to me because I was gone taping and whatnot for the show. So, you know, she came down to New Orleans, and I had to do a appearance at Fox 8, do a cooking demo, and I brought her with me. And, you know, just for her to be in the newsroom, and for her to witness everything, she's very proud of me. Very proud of me. And I always tell her to, you know, this is not it. You know, I see myself being a visionary. I see myself being a mentor. I see myself, you know, helping others and, you know, basically telling my story and inspiring others on another level and whatnot. And I mean, she's proud. She's very proud, very, very proud. And that's one of the things that she did say is that, you know, even though you didn't win, you went there and you represented.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, a big part of the show, naturally, is a lot of the drama and the fighting that goes on between all the contestants. Were you aware of that happens on the show before you went and started really getting involved in the tryout?
I mean, I wasn't aware about all the stuff that could happen on the show. I was just more so of just going with flow of everything. You know, I'm a type of person, I'm very observant. I sit back and I observe a lot. So when I got down to LA and when I got basically into the groove of everything, I just more so stayed to myself and I sat back and I observed. One thing that I didn't let is anybody basically come at me any sideways or anything like that. But as far as drama, I ignored it. You know, I'm not here for drama. I'm here to win. I'm here to cook. I'm here to show my talent. So far as people making friends or trying to be enemies, I really didn't care for that.
Yeah, you
I
were
stay away from it more away.
Yeah, you were. I mean, this season actually in general, compared to like last season, was really brutal with the fighting and the drama that was going on in it, and that was a big part of that was due to our good friend actually, Chrissy from last season, and this season it wasn't that
She's
bad
amazing.
at all. She's amazing.
She's amazing. I like Chrissy. I like her attitude. She don't take no shit.
She called in last week when we had Big Willie on. Big Willie started crying.
Why?
Because he was so moved and so happy that she called in. He couldn't believe it. We totally surprised him.
Wow. I love me some Chrissy. I love her attitude, and she can cook, too. She can cook, and I follow her on IG. And one of the things that she did say that I was definitely, it was me, Willie, Elizabeth, and somebody else, and Leslie, that was her favorites on the show. So, you know, just to get that, you know, that inspiration from a past contestant, that's amazing. You know, very amazing.
Yeah, she is awesome. That you know, we met last year when she was doing the show, and she was coming on every week and giving us like weekly updates, and we got to be very close. She only lives like 20 minutes away from me, so we hang out from time to time. And yeah, she's good.
Oh
people.
my God! Wow.
She's crazy. She is what you see on TV. It's her. I mean, that is her. She's very loud, very outspoken, and yeah, she's a piece of work.
Wow. Crazy. I did something else.
So who, like, was there anything or anybody early on when you first got to LA that you thought this could be a problem or there could be some stuff starting here? Because you really you didn't start nothing, but there was a couple times like people came at you, but you just stuck up for yourself.
Yeah, man, I just felt like, you know, one thing that a lot of people say is that I guess I was cocky, but I don't more so see myself as cocky. I see myself as a person that's passionate at what he does and that's confident at what he does, you know? And I just felt like the situation with Leslie and Ron, I just felt like, Leslie, you're 56, Ron's 18, so you shouldn't even be going back and forth. That's a child, more away.
Yeah.
As far as the episode where I was like, no more eating, the environment that I used to work in, if you and your coworkers are basically busting your ass to get the food out, then there shouldn't be nobody else eating. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody shouldn't be eating. We all should eat if you're going to eat. Far as they say I was bullying Willie. I mean, when you're in your moment, you just wanna get the work done. You know, no bad feeling for Willie. I love Willie. We are basically in the works of doing some things together and whatnot for the South. But
nice.
Other than that, I love Willie, you know, but I feel like most of the stuff that you saw is basically what was edited, you know, and it makes you think it's like there was a reason why you guys basically took out basically what everything I was trying to say to show the world. But at the end of the day, of course, you kept what you kept to make me look like a bad person, but obviously it didn't work because I still touch people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, going back to like you were talking about with Leslie and Iran, Leslie, at a lot of times, I mean, he was caught in the middle of a lot of bickering and fighting and a lot of the quote-unquote drama of the show. Mm-hmm. But he came off like a dick at times, but at the end he came off very respectful, especially the way him and Iran made up.
Right.
And,
When I first met Leslie, I thought he was an asshole. And I tell Leslie all the time. I tell him all the time. I say, dude, when I first met you, I just thought you was an asshole. And it was just a day where we have a little bit of off time. Man, Leslie used to sit back and kick back Heineken on the, when we wasn't working or doing any taping and stuff. And I really got an opportunity to get to know Leslie. And Leslie, hands down, he's loud, very obnoxious, but Leslie is a cool guy. Like, I go out to the club with Leslie. That's how awesome he is. Like, Leslie is a good dude. And it got to the point where I used to tell the past contestants, like, stop hating on him because he's cooking. He's doing what he's doing, so there's no need for you to even say anything about him. I mean, he just talks a lot. Sometimes you just don't understand what he says. And there used to be times where Leslie used to pace and walk in the green room every day. Like, he'd just walk back and forth, walk to one end to the other end. I used to ask Leslie, like, Leslie, sit your ass down. Like, seriously? But Leslie is a good dude. I like him. I like the Leslie. He's a cool guy, you know? I mean, I guess what it feels is that, you know, when you first get into a competition, you just don't know what is going to happen. So, more whereas a lot of people keep their guard up in a way until something does happen. And I think that's something that a lot of contestants did do. Is just like for Elizabeth, for instance, like when I first met Elizabeth was quiet. And it was just one day when we was taping and Ramsey asked us, do we feel that Courtney would do something? And nobody really didn't say anything, but Elizabeth, she just came out the blue and she was like, oh, hell no, she won't do anything. And I was just shocked. I was just like, hold on, where did you come from? You know? So, you know, in the beginning of everything, yeah, because you really don't know what people's motive is, you know?
Right. Now, how about the first time you got to meet the judges, which we didn't really see that this season because in like last season they showed, I guess it was like the final 100 people, and they each had to come in and bring their dish into the three judges, and then they went from that top 100 down to, I guess, the top 20 or 30, whatever it was. But they didn't do that this season. We didn't get to see that. Did you guys still do something similar to that?
I mean, once I saw the judges, I just saw them. I wasn't starstruck. I mean, I was happy to see Ramsey because, you know, he's the man of the show. But other than that, I mean, the way, however, we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know anything. We didn't know much of anything that was going to happen next. Like, we didn't even know when we was going to see the judges. So when I saw the judges, I was like, wow, there's Ramsey. It's now it's time to get busy. My focus is time to get busy. Every time I step in the kitchen, I was on the football field. It's fourth quarter every day. Whenever it's time to cook, let's just do it. So, I mean, other than that, I was very elated and very blessed to see the judges. But other than that, I was ready to cook.
And how about not the pressure test, but the team challenges?
Yeah, only won one team challenge.
Did you think it was harder doing the team challenges or the stress test?
I think, honestly, it was a little bit harder doing a team challenge. Reason why? Because you didn't know what to expect. You know, you didn't know what to expect, and then at the end of the day, you didn't know what everybody could do. It's like you didn't know. But like, far as the pressure test, or you just cooking from within yourself, and you're not on a team, that didn't bother me because I just knew that was my time to, like, I just felt like I was in my kitchen, just cook.
Right.
And make sure that it tastes good. That's it. But, like, far as anybody else, no. It wasn't hard. It's just working with teams. That's most of, I think, working with teams, because you didn't know what anybody else could do.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, and plus you almost kind of got to depend on other people at some point. You don't know what position they're going to end up.
For instance, like even the Army challenge, when Stephanie supposedly was cooking the chicken, and when she cooked the chicken, Ramsey came over. Was like, "Who cooked the chicken?" She was like, "I did," and he cut the chicken open, and the chicken wasn't even cooked.
Right. So
that was a moment where she said, "Yeah, I know how to cook chicken." Well, yeah, cook the chicken. But when it turned back around, who was cooking chicken? Christian. I was cooking all the chicken I made at barbecue.
You were the one on a lot of the team challenges that you had to end up really stepping up for the team, or even the team captain. I stepped up all the time. Yeah.
I stepped up all the time. Especially, the football challenge. People thought the turkey burgers wasn't going to make it. And I succeeded on that, especially with the Army challenge. I was working just about all the grills, me and Leslie, making sure the chicken was being cooked properly. The restaurant challenge, oh, my God, that was just a disaster. And I feel like to this day, and I'll take this to my grave, I feel like I should have been on that balcony, hands down. But it is what it is. I'm not the judge. And even when I made the gumbo for the family, I should have been on the balcony. But I am not the judge, so, yeah.
Well, yeah. So when it was getting down to, like, when you made it into, like, the top 10, were you, like,
Oh, when
wow,
I was at top 16, I was ready to go home. I was ready to go home. I was like, you know what? I be just about whoever out. Cool. I'm down to top 6 because it was getting stressful. You know, I was missing my son. I was missing my fiance. I was just so ready to go. You know, and I was just to the point where, you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is just keep cooking. Let's just keep cooking, and I just kept cooking. So when I got down to the top 10. You know, I thank God up above. I was like, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be in the top 10. So now I must keep cooking. And I just kept cooking.
I think a lot of people, too, don't realize with doing these shows and, like you're saying, like, when you did that, like, they cut you guys off from basically the outside world. Like, you're not supposed to have contact with anybody, and you're not supposed to be talking to them and stuff like that. I mean, that's got to be tough. It
was tough. I mean, it even got to the point where I had to make decisions if I'm going to call my son or call my fiance.
Wow.
You know? And I had to go to the producers and let producers know, like, listen, you're not going to tell me I got to make a decision. You just really got to make. I mean, I'll go, 5 minutes on one call, 5 minutes on another call, but you're just not going to make me make a decision. So it got to the point where I did have opportunity to talk to them at the same time.
So in other words, they were trying to make you do a Sophie's choice. I mean, that's pretty brutal right there.
Yeah, I had to choose. But it is what it is. I mean, I got it done. It got done, and I spoke to my son, and I spoke to my fiance. So, yeah, and they understood.
Right.
They understood. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how about, like I said, when you got into the top 10? And you're still there, and you're getting into the top 5.
When I got to the top 10, I was just ready. I was like, okay, I made it to top 10. Let's see if I can make it to top 8. Let's see if I can make it in top 8. And that's how it was. I was like, you know what, boom, top 10 knocked out. Bam, let's go to top 8. I was like, word, top 8, let's go to top 6. And I just kept cooking. That was one of the things, like, I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know where it was going to end, But, the day when I made those brains, I just knew it was the day. I knew it. I mean, when you know. I mean, especially when they say, our focus is just the brain. Our focus is the protein. I mean, I know the protein. That basically showed that, this guy can really, really cook. But I'm not the judge. And I'm okay to go out with, 5. I have 5 toes. My son is 5 years old. I got 5 fingers. My fiance is number 5. Meaning as the relationship I've been in, serious relationship, she's number 5. So I was okay to walk out at 5.
Wow. Now you brought the brain one. Was that the one where it was like the brain, the heart, the balls?
Yes.
That challenge alone, like I said, I wouldn't want to be a judge for that challenge because I wouldn't want to eat that stuff.
I mean, honestly, like when I tried the brain, it was all right. It was just gooey. I don't like gooey stuff in my mouth. I don't like anything so gooey in my mouth and whatnot. So, I mean, but when they told me that it tasted good, I really thought I was good. I thought I was good to go to the next round. But, I mean, I've never cooked brain before. I've never cooked tongue before, I don't eat that stuff on a daily basis. But, hey.
That stuff looks so nasty, and they looked like they were in heaven eating it. They really did.
All right, guys. Since you guys are talking about eating crazy stuff, and Bay said I had to ask you this because he couldn't pronounce the word, I want to know if you've ever ate nutria.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Have you ever ate or cooked nutria?
No.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's this sort of beaver-like rat that's down in Louisiana that it's just now I'm starting to see people post about cooking it and stuff like that. And I was just curious if it was anything you tried.
I never. And then, like, one of the things is that Ramsey did say through the competition that did get edited. And, like, this is stuff that I'm going to continue to remember for the rest of my life, is that one thing is when he told me, like, Christian, you was born to cook. That touched me. And then another thing he said, Christian, you're not afraid to cook. You're not afraid of anything. Anything that we throw at you, you're not afraid.
Right.
And whatnot. So that meant a lot to me and everything. But yeah, the brains just didn't work out.
Oh, so you said though, if you had to do it all over again, you would do it again.
If I would do it all over again, would I do it again? I don't know. I don't know. Reason why, because, you know, the way how everything played out, you know, congratulations to Courtney LaPresi. I just feel that, you know, I was dealt some cards that that was different from some few contestants. I mean, Cutter got saved like multiple times, and I just would have thought, like, can I get like a chance or opportunity? Like, at least give me a chance. I've only been down here twice, and
right.
the first time I was down here, you know, I messed up because we was in a teen challenge. But other than that, like, I can cook, you know. But like, I mean, if they ever say, Christian, come back to the show, would I come back to the show? Yeah, I come back for my fans and for my family.
Now, how about after you were eliminated? Which when you were eliminated, I'm going to say that too. Like, and they, especially when it gets down to the top 5. I mean, when you guys get eliminated, I mean, it's like they make it like it's a funeral. The way they it comes off, because it
wasn't a funeral for me, because once I got eliminated, I was happy to go. I was happy to go back to my hotel. I was happy. I was delighted to go back to my hotel because my fiance was sitting there waiting.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But
I was happy, so I was like, "Well, I'm going home."
When which you said they cut the part out with Joe, which we didn't get to see, but the part we did see is when Gordon said to you, you want to start a food truck, you call me and I'll put the money up. I mean, that was mind-blowing. I was blown away by that.
Right, because, I mean, my whole thing is, like I said before, like, even my fiance said it to me. She was like, you know, go there and do what you got to do. You know, if you don't win, you don't win, but at least show them something.
Right.
And it's all about you showing. It ain't about what's, you know, if the trophy, you get the trophy, you win, that's kudos. That's amazing. But go there and just do what you do. And I took that and I ran with it. And I felt like, you know, I went there and I represented very well. And I went there with a passion. And I went there and I told them, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I felt like I was born to be on this earth to fill people's stomachs with great food. You know, and I went there and I did what basically I had to do. And I showed the judges how much love and how much passion I have in this, and basically why I cook the way I do. And, you know, just to walk out with a investor, the investor himself, Gordon Ramsay, I mean, that's amazing. That's a blessing because, I mean, obviously I did something that other competitors didn't do because he didn't give that opportunity to those other competitors.
Absolutely.
So I'm truly blessed, truly, truly blessed.
Now, how about what were you doing before all this started? What did you do for a living?
Oh, I was actually working for going door to door, setting up UVerse services for customers, cable. Yeah.
Okay. So how was work like when you told them you were going off to do a reality show? Were they like, okay?
Oh, they was down with it. You know, I had a lot of support, and they was okay with it. Now I told them, I said, now when I come back, I'm not gonna promise you that I'm gonna be here, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, if I win that $250,000, I don't know if I'm going to come back to doing this.
Right. And then one of the things that, even though that I did come back, I didn't go back to work. Right. I basically stepped out on faith, and just started pushing my lunches, and I just had an opportunity to be a part of a Ray Charles Foundation out here in New Orleans. Nice. And be the the youth ambassador for his cooking program. out
Oh,
here
wow.
in New Orleans. So that's just totally great and whatnot.
Good for you.
And I just basically, I'm still cooking. I didn't stop. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't know is that, you know, once I got sent home, I continued to cook. A lot of people got sent home, and I talked to past contestants. They said I ain't in my kitchen for a couple of days, you know. And I was like, me, as soon as I got off the plane, I had requests for gumbo. I had requests to see. I had requests for so many things to do, you know. And I just kept cooking. I just kept cooking.
Did you have a lot of people start coming out of the woodwork that were now all of a sudden your friends?
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of people, you know, trying to be around the circle and everything, but I'm a type of individual. If you wasn't in my circle when I was struggling and down, there's no need for you to be in my circle now.
That's right. Good for you.
Right.
Now, how about, did you plan the whole time where you thought to yourself, all right, I'm now in this top 20. When I get off of this show, I'm going to take this and run with the ball and keep cooking and make this my life? Or did you think still early on that you were like, I got to go back to work after this?
Well, once I realized that, you know, I was still in the top 20, my focus is let's get closer to simple digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, you know?
Right.
And, you know, if I would have went home in top 20, I would have probably been really upset and probably been working right back at AT&T. But once I made it to, you know, top 10 and down to top 6, top 5, I knew I couldn't go back home and do what I used to do and whatnot, you know?
Right,
and, yeah, I just basically kept cooking, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I've been doing it for so long. And what people don't know is that I went to a technical vocational high school when I was in Boston, Massachusetts, when I was in high school and everything. And I studied culinary arts. You know, I could have studied carpentry, plumbing, barber, electrician. I could have did it all, but I decided to do something that I enjoy, which was cooking, because, you know, like I said before, you know, my mom raised 5 kids on her own, and she was always in the kitchen, you know, cooking those big meals on holidays, and that what more so drew me in the kitchen to be, you know, in there with her and start helping her. And I just basically developed a passion and a love for it, and it just basically stayed with me, you know, all my life, you know, working in different hospitals when I was in high school, you know, working in different restaurants, retirement homes. I was just always about food. So it's just based in so many words, I taught myself. You know, I basically taught myself and gave myself the culinary degree that I basically received from myself because I taught myself.
That's awesome. Now, how about when it came down to the final 3, who was your choice that you thought was going to win it?
Elizabeth, hands down. Hands down. Leslie's not a better cook than me. I feel Leslie, he's pretty good, but he's not better than Christian. You feel me? Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight. In all my interviews, I felt like I had no competition in there. I felt I had no competition in there. The reason why? Because I always told myself, can nobody stop me but me? I felt like I had no competition, you know. As far as with Elizabeth, Courtney, and Leslie, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great cooks. We're different cooks in so many ways, but the way I look at the whole situation, I mean, Leslie, he's good. He's all right, but he ain't better than Christian. Elizabeth, she's great, you know. She's not better than Christian. Courtney, she's all right. She's a stripper, but, hey, it is what it is. She's a champion, too.
What was your personal feelings towards Courtney? Did you get along with her? It seems like not too many people got along with her.
My personal feelings for Courtney, I mean, what I look at is that, you know, Courtney is she's a, how can I say it? What can I say? Let's see, some of them, I don't want to be mean. She's an actress, more so in a way. Reason why is because I always used to ask Courtney all the time, like, why you always putting on an act? Like, everything is just so pretty to you. Like, you got to twirl your hair. You always got to wear your heels, Louis Vuitton this, Louis Vuitton that. I just believe in my mind. I just didn't think she can cook for me. And the reason why I didn't think she can cook because she really wasn't diverse. Like, everything she did was always with a salad on the bottom, some type of vegetables and whatnot. And then Far as with the whole ordeal with her, I mean, she came off as fake. Even when I saw it said in that episode when Gordon Ramsay was like, "Would you cook with her?" I was like, "No, thank you. No, thank you. No, I don't know," because I don't think she don't cook how I cook, you know. And one of the things that we knew is that Courtney was a mimic. And when I say mimic, she mimicked everything that she read in a book. It didn't come from within herself. You understand what I'm saying? So, as far as with her being a cook, I mean, if that's who they feel that Masterchef champion should be, that's what they feel Masterchef champion should be, is her. I mean, as a person, she's all right, but as far as a individual, I just feel that she's not as passionate as she says she is. That's what I think. You know?
Well, I have a caller on the line here, and it's somebody who wants to talk to you, and I think you'll want to talk to this person, and I know she is not the president of the Courtney fan club. So let's welcome the one and only Chrissy Biasello to talk to Christian.
Oh,
Chrissy,
my God.
welcome.
Chrissy is on the phone?
Yeah, let me tell you something, okay? She ain't from Philly. She ain't Philly. She'll never be Philly. And if I hear her talking shit about me in any more of my places, I'm going to rearrange that crooked-ass nose of hers. Now, anyway, hi, Christian. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Chrissy? You are so amazing.
Oh, thank you, baby.
We love you. Me and my fiancé, we love you.
Yo, listen, for real. Yo, Bay, seriously, Bay is actually a friend of mine. Our families are real close. We got close last year when he was interviewing me through my whole Masterchef journey. But he had me on last week when I was talking to Big Willie. And
yes,
what did I say to you last week, Bay? When you said who's going to win, what did I say? Then I said who was the dark horse? Who was my dark horse?
I don't remember.
Leslie.
Christian. No, Christian.
Oh,
maybe no. I'm sorry, because it wasn't last week. It was the weekend before, right? My bad.
Yeah, there you go. Go.
But
I mean, nobody really ride with Courtney.
Yo, did you see what I tweeted you? I was like, yo, you had me choking tears, for real. Like, I didn't get that emotional, or if anybody else's departure. Like, Big Willie kind of kicked me in the shin, but I knew, you know, from the bottom of my heart, like, Big Willie, you know, but I knew that, like, when it came to, like, the final, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think that he was going to be able to hang because of what they were going to throw at him. And being that he's not as, like, diverse as whatever. And like, I literally said to them, they were like, who's going to win? I was like, Christian, he's my dark horse. Like, I seriously, you could have kicked me in the stomach and I would have been, like, it would have been the same feeling. I was just, me and my son were like, no.
Right.
No.
I felt the
like,
same
it was
way, Christy.
it was so hard to watch. So hard to watch.
But you know what? I went out with a bang, and I had to hit him with that cat daddy at the end to show them that there's no tears over here. I am okay. Let's believe that I am okay. But one of the things that I will say about Courtney is that she just gave off this negative attitude, you know, and we used to call her cornflake because of her damn nose. Her nose is so huge. So when we met her family, I was just like, I really see where you get your nose from. Your whole family all got big-ass noses. So it was the fact of the matter is that, you know, it is what it is. It's over. I'm truly blessed to be in the position that I am. The only thing that my focus is how I'm going to keep my name above water and making sure that, you know, my fans know that I'm going to continue doing what I'm going to continue doing, and that's cooking.
Right. Because, like, I got to be honest with you, and, like, I said this to Big Willie when I was talking to him, like, to be real with you, like, Luca's doing the same thing I'm doing. And I'm doing just as much work as he's doing. Like, I'm, you know, doing my cooking demonstrations, and, you know, I come and do private dinners and stuff like that. And honestly, out of my season, I don't know anybody that's doing it. Nobody except for me and Luca are doing really anything. And it's because
what about Natasha? Where is she at? Natasha, where is she at?
And Natasha's just being a mom. Just doing her, you know what I mean? I know that she does some little catering things here and there, but she's not really doing anything. And I had a little family barbecue down the Jersey Shore, and Bree stopped by with her family, and Bree was telling me that, like, because I don't talk to Jesse, but Bree was telling me that Jessie wants, like, nothing to do with MasterChef. She, like, won't talk to anybody. Like, the only person that she really talks to is, like, Bree and Jordan. I don't know what Jordan's doing. I think he's back on the FedEx truck. I know James is doing really well with his hot sauce company. But other than that, everybody went back to their regular thing. So, like, my advice to you, for real, is if you don't keep your ass out there like I did, you're going to fade like a fart in the wind, for real.
There you go. You were so right.
Don't stop that hustle. Like JP, you had JP as a wrangler, right?
I love JP.
Oh my God, JP. Like I remember, like I was all pissed off. Like the one, because I tried to get sent home the one time on the catfish, and then somebody ended up screwing up more than me because like I was just done. Like I just wanted to go home to my family. Like I was done with all the bullshit. I was done with fighting with everybody, and I remember JP like because I went outside to smoke a cigarette. And JP, like, came outside with me, and he was like, yo, for real. He's like, I'm going to tell you something that not everybody knows. He said, you may go home tomorrow, you may win, but I guarantee you got something nobody else has. They're going to remember you. And I was like, he was like, don't give up. Don't give up. And something just clicked. He's like, who are you here for? And I remember, like, Eddie Jackson came out there, like, who are you here for? And I was like, you know what? You're right. These people, and that's like when I really like I came back with
to the conversation I had with him. Yes, indeed,
Yeah.
That is something
because
similar to the conversation.
They've been doing it, right?
Yes.
So
wow.
like and it's it's out there for everybody to see. Nobody's doing what I'm doing except for Luca and me, and Luca was the winner. And I'm doing the same thing he is, and I'm just as busy as he is, and I didn't win shit.
Wow. Right. You just got to keep your name irrelevant. And as I was telling a few minutes ago, I was telling him, I was like, one of the things that I do feel that I'm very so upset about is that the fact that they edited out my story, But I'm upset about it. But one of the things is that I'm happy is that my fans had an opportunity to take the time out of their time to say, wow, I'm very inspired by you. I'm very inspired by the way how you cook, your whole demeanor. Like you cook with a passion. Right. You cook from within, So one of the things that I'm not going to do, Chrissy, is stop because I've been cooking for so long. And, having an opportunity to be in the position that I'm in and then have an investor, it's like, wow, it's like I can't be upset. I have to continue going.
Exactly.
Especially for my son, is to show him, your dad been through a lot. I've been homeless. I've been, I never met my father. I've lost my brother. I lost my best friend. I've been through so much to the point where I can't stop. He's my motivation to keep it going,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's crazy? Like everybody told me, some of the producers, they were like, oh, you better do what you're doing now before the new season airs, or everybody's going to forget about you. Then nobody forget about me. I'm just as busy now as I was last year, and that's what I'm saying. Like, no, like you were like memorable. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you were for real. Like you, like the entire time, like they didn't even need to do a backstory. Like you could just tell, like right away. Like I called you from like day one. I'm like, nah, I'm like, he's for real. You know what I mean? Just because of the way you came off and you presented yourself. Because come on, I'm like I'm from the hood too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to Willie, like
from the jump.
Yeah,
she said I was real. Chrissy said she came from the hood too.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said to Willie, like a long time ago on Twitter, I was like, real recognizes real. I was like, that's why like me and Malcolm and Kathy and Sasha all got along last year because
we real recognize real.
We, me and Sasha and Kathy, we're all single parents. You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm was a single parent. You know what I'm saying? It's like right away we connected and
wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And when they went, like I think Kathy was the last of like my crew to go. It was rough, man. It was really rough because I had nobody to talk to.
But you kept it 100 though. You kept it real, Chrissy.
Look, I just woke up every day and I was basically like I was just walking around. I'd be like, fuck you, you're cool. That was basically it. Like, I just didn't care. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
one thing that they did say about you, because we did ask the Wranglers. It was like, who stood out? And it was like, listen, Chrissy. It was like, Chrissy? Oh, hey, I'm going to tell you something. What you got on TV is what you get. That's Chrissy. Like, it was like she came with it. Like, she, when they say raw and uncut, oh, she was just uncut.
Yeah, they would try to wake me up in the morning. They would be like calling me, and I would take my phone off the hook. Then they would start banging on the door, and I'd be like, I said, wait a fucking minute. I ain't done my hair, motherfucker. And then I would go downstairs. I would get my coffee. They'd be like, Chrissy, let's go. I'd be like, do you see me get my coffee? Do you see me getting my coffee? You will fucking wait. I told them.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You got to be at like you have to go out to a restaurant to eat with her. It's a definite experience.
Come on, baby, don't start telling stories.
Kitty has to come to New Orleans.
The last time we went out to eat, she for an hour, she tortured the poor waitress because she wanted the cardboard cutout of the Dos Equis guy. She tortured this poor girl.
Wow.
And then what did you Facebook?
Yeah, I wrote a review on Facebook.
Wow.
And I wrote this long review how the girl wouldn't give her the thing.
Yeah, and how she sits on a throne of lies.
No, indeed.
Yo, I wanted that Dos Equis guy. I needed him for my basement. It's like my dojo down there, you know?
Wow, I hear you. So, Chrissy, when are you coming to New Orleans?
Oh, my God. You don't even know. I want to come to New Orleans, but I am, like for right now, like, no bullshit, I am literally booked every weekend until the end of January with cooking demos, cooking classes. I'm hoping to free up some time in the spring because I really, 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 really am trying to get out to Chicago to see a couple friends of mine, and I really, really, really want to either go to Atlanta or New Orleans. So
no, do not go to Atlanta. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go to Atlanta, I'm going to bash you on Twitter. Do not go to Atlanta. What are you going to Atlanta for?
I trust you because I heard there was some really, really good. It was a really decent Southern food scene.
Bullshit.
No, listen, I'm trusting you. I heard it was very underrated, and I really want to go down there to do some research.
No. I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing that Atlanta got going for themselves, and that's barely, is Atlanta Falcons. As far as food wise, it's not really booming. It's really not. My fiance has a lot of her girlfriends that stays in Atlanta, and they are begging me to come to Atlanta, either with a food truck or more so to put a restaurant out there because, like Gladys Knight's chicken and waffle stuff like that stuff is overrated. That's overrated. Like if you really want some unique, down home cooking Creole, deep South dirty food, it's New Orleans. And we're diverse in so many ways.
I have an uncle who lives in New Orleans, so it's not like crazy that I would not come there. Like I have a place to stay and all that, so it's not like out of the blue that trust me, it's on my list. I really, really do want to go.
I'm actually in the process of finding some shrimp right now.
My grandfather who passed away, who was like a big culinary inspiration, like there was nothing, like he was obsessed with any kind of Cajun Creole food, like he loved it. His jambalaya was like unreal, like oh my God, it was unreal. And like that, I kind of really wanted to come to New Orleans to kind of like pay tribute to his memory because like
that makes you just it was so important. It was so important. He's gonna roll over in his grave a couple times because you did not come.
Yo, I'm trying to go to them drive-through margarita joints. You guys.
There you go. We can do all that.
My cousin went down. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "They got drive-through margarita joints." I was like, "What?" I'm there.
Yes. Go get you a hand grenade to take you to Bourbon.
Oh, my God. Faye, could you see me on Bourbon Street? Oh, my God.
No.
New Orleans ain't ready.
Bourbon Street
New Orleans not ready for Chrissy to be on Bourbon Street?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. A little bug just flew in my mouth. I'm sitting outside in the damn mold.
No, and so Chrissy, you're from Philly, correct?
Absolutely, born and raised, and I'm going to die here too.
Right. So I'm sure you'll cross paths with Courtney one day, right?
Oh, it's already been done. I have not personally crossed paths with her, but a couple of because I've been a paralegal for 15 years, and I've been all over the city working for different, attorneys and things like that, because I used to do a lot of freelance paralegal work as well. And a couple of my girlfriends were at a little corner joint or whatever, having some dinner and drinks after a long day of work, and it just happened to be little Miss Tippy Two's viewing party at this place. Well, she went off about me, about how I don't represent Philly well and this and that, and she thinks I'm white trash, and I'm thinking to myself, bitch, you shake your ass at Delilah's. Like, for real? Like, I'm white trash? Wow. Bitch, I dare you to come to 21st and Snyder and say that on my block and see if you can't walk as crooked as your nose. For real. Yo, she pissed me off. And that left a real bad taste in my mouth. And then I heard through the grapevine more and more she was talking shit on me. And then her mom got going on social media. And, I know a lot of people. I've lived here all my life. My father's very well known around the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people know who I am. And, so I don't know how it is down there, but, we could be fighting each other in the street one day. 6 hours later, somebody talks shit. 6 hours later, somebody else talks shit. That dude I was fighting is going to go to bat for me. Because that's just the way it is. Like, we all stick together like that. We could be fighting in the street, and 2 hours later, we could be having beers.
So Courtney's not from Philly, then?
No, she's not. She's from some bumblefuck town in New York. She only came here to strip and go to art school.
Go to art school, right.
And I wish she would go back to where she came from.
The one thing, too, after if you noticed, they never said she was a stripper until the final episode.
Exactly.
Where she admitted it twice. And as soon as she admitted it, I said, well, I guess she's winning, because this way they can, it won't come out afterwards. She's really a stripper. This way she admitted it, she gets the title, and, there you go. Because
whatever. Like for real, like from my standpoint, and just like little whispers in the wind that I've been hearing from certain contestants that I've gotten cool with from your season, there seems to be a lot more going on than, and it looks like a lot of people have it pegged. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, the favoritism towards her, and I mean, you could see it. You could see it from Jump Street. You know what I mean?
We saw it from Jump Street. We saw that from Jump. Like, once we saw everything, it was like, they are showing a lot of favoritism toward this young lady, and she's really not doing too much for her to be showing all this favoritism. So I just more so just kept myself to myself, and I just kept cooking, and I just knew the fakeness. Like, I used to stay away from her. I mean, it got to the point where she was complaining that I was in the makeup room listening to my music before I go on to set, and she was complaining, like, why does Christian get to sit in that room where everybody else is sitting out here? It's like she always has something to say.
Right. Yeah, because she's a bitch. She is
for real,
like, honest to God, like, I thought Natasha was bad. Natasha ain't shit. Like even Natasha, okay, me and her were at each other's throats. Okay, even Natasha, like, messaged me and said, like, could you imagine if she was in the holding room with us? She was like, you would have killed her.
Oh, yeah.
For real. I would have knocked her out.
Cared for her? Nobody cared for her. Nobody.
Well, she said in one of the interviews that she didn't make any friends. She literally said that in one of the interviews. Like, I read it online. Somebody sent it to me.
That she didn't make any friends?
Yeah, that's what she said. I forget what interview it was, but it was somebody sent it to me, and I was like, ow. I was like, well, that doesn't surprise me.
So, well, guys, actually,
it was all about her Louis Vuittons and her nose.
Yeah, right. but poor me. Oh, I can't make rent, so I gotta go show my tits all across Philadelphia. But I got on $700 shoes. Bitch, that's my mortgage.
Right.
That's
that
my
didn't make
mortgage.
any sense to me. We used to say, I was like, okay, we understand you went through this whole situation that you went through, but you're over here walking around with $700 shoes on.
She's fake.
That was fake. You are so right.
Fake.
Yep, you are right, Kristen.
Dude, for real, like the minute I heard, bad taste in my mouth from day one. Bad taste in my mouth.
Wow.
She is everything I can't stand. So whatever. But you know what? That's all right though, because you know what's the best thing, honestly, Christian.
What's that?
Masterchef owns her for the next year. They don't own shit on you. You can go and do and whatever you want. And honestly, in talking to some of the past winners, you're a lot better off. You're a lot better off.
Thank you.
So
and I'm
you
glad,
just keep doing what you're doing.
That means a lot when.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, I was like that means a lot. I mean, especially when I hear past contestants basically telling me that, I rock and roll and I have what it takes to stay above water. That truly means a lot, because that just shows that, you have an audience. That shows that, you are doing something positive and that you are doing something to the point that you're inspiring others. So I truly do thank you.
No, for real. I honest to God, I wish you the best, and I don't even think you need it, because I think you're going to do great. Because you know what? You remind me a lot of myself. Like I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. This is what I'm doing.
There you go.
And I'm doing it for my reasons, and I ain't got to explain shit to you. And I feel like that's why you're going to go for it, because and
I think
honestly,
that's the reason why I left at 5, because we had the same attitude. We just didn't give a fuck, and we spoke our mind.
Right. And honestly, in 6 months, we should revisit this conversation, and we'll see where Little Miss Tippy Toes is and where you are in 6 months. I guarantee you'll have a lot more. You'll have a lot more under your belt than her.
Right. Because
don't nobody want her. Ain't nobody going to buy her cookbook. Okay,
nope.
Nobody's going to hire her. The only people that are going to hire her are fake-ass people like her, and we all know the fake-ass people are outnumbered anyway, so it don't matter.
Right, and they don't get far.
She ain't going nowhere. So, like, all the people that were all pissed off that she won, whatever, go ahead. Let her have it, because I guarantee you in 6 months, people like you, people like Cutter, you know what I'm saying, like people that have that attitude, like, I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm just going to do it. People like Leslie, you in 6 months from now, you're going to have more under your belt than she's got under her G-string. I had to go there.
Yeah, I'm going in 6 months. I'm going to have so much things underneath my belt than she will have in her G-string. Chrissy. Lord, Chrissy.
I
you
know.
are something else.
So,
on
that note,
me off, Faye?
Yeah, I got to start wrapping up because I have another interview I have to get to yet. You're lucky.
Do me a favor and give Christian my number when you're done. Email it to him so I can keep in touch with him.
Definitely.
Okay,
Chris, if you buy a pen, 504-669-6693.
Oh my God! No, he did not just give his phone number.
You just gave your number out on the air.
Oh my God! Babe, you better delete that.
I'll text it over to you.
Yeah, delete that.
Courtney's mom will be calling Christian. There you talk about my big-nosed daughter.
Right.
Wait, Babe, you don't even know. No, seriously, Babe, I know you got to go, but the reason that I bring up Courtney's mother is because this is what kind of people they are. Her mother was on the Masterchef site, like, bashing Elizabeth, and Elizabeth posted the screenshots. Like, for real.
That was very sad. Yes, that was very childish.
And that just goes to show you that the apple don't fall far from the tree.
It really don't.
And that's why she acts like that, because she feels as though it's acceptable, because that's what her family has pumped into her head.
I'll have you know, we will have Elizabeth on next week.
Oh, please. Me and her need to have coffee talk too.
Y'all need to have a tea party.
All right,
so
I'll
Chrissy,
talk to you, Christian.
Monday night.
Christian,
Yes.
He's going to give you my number.
Yes, ma'am.
And Monday night, Chrissy returns to our airwaves for a 2-hour special. Fork Off with Chrissy is back, and she's going to be telling a lot of people to fork off. And public enemy number one, as you've heard, is Courtney. So
wow.
Tune in Monday night.
And I hope that you can call in, Christian. So text
I'm going to call in. If you guys want me to call in, I'm calling in.
Oh, absolutely. I got all kinds of people from last year and this year calling in. And we would just love to have your opinion.
Not a problem.
All right, babe. I love you. Christian, love you.
Right,
Good luck, baby. Text me.
Love you guys, too. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
See ya. Christian, I want to thank you for being a guest tonight. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. Like she said, don't stop cooking, man. Keep your name out there.
I'm not.
Keep going. And screw going back to the real world of work. Control your destiny.
There you go.
Take advantage of it and run with it, my man.
Right. This is not the last of me. And for those that's out there listening, if you guys have an opportunity, if you got IG, you guys can follow me, food_fashion_taste. I have a lot of great things in the works. Of course, the food truck is coming, and you will be able to hear much more about it soon. So for all my fans out there that's listening, I just want to say thank you guys for all the love and the support. And if you guys have a passion or a love to do anything, just do it. Don't let anything stop you. Just go for it.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, if you can just say, this is Christian from Season 5 of Masterchef, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
This is Christian from Season 5 of Masterchef. You are listening to Totally New Radio. Good night, you guys.
Take it easy, Christian.
Later. Bye.
Later. All right, everybody. There he goes, and there she goes. Wow.